friends, Allison here with AJ's Inspired Life, and today I have a voiceover for you while I do some journaling and catching up. I'm not too sure which video I'm going to post when, but I did do a video on like unloading my stuff from our trip. And so I am super behind and I need to do some catch up. So I just had to come down and like dig in, if you will. I am probably a solid 10 days behind at this point, like not finished. Some of it's done, some of it's not. So as I'm making this page, that's kind of my current day that I think I'm working on. And I'm just trying to flip in my book and see. Yeah, so that current page I'm working on is like the 23rd of September. And so I'm playing with some Happy Mail that I got. If you haven't seen that video, I opened up a Happy Mail from Holly and oh my gosh, it was so much fun and so many goodies. So I'm just trying to like figure out, how I want some stuff. I tried to save every single piece of it I could. And so the packaging tape from the outside and the actual postage is up in the left like corner, that international tract thing. And so I just try and keep all of it, right? And so, and I apologize, I'm out of frame. It always happens. I don't know how, but somehow I set up my camera and then, I don't know, the bottom half of, it looks like it shows up on my camera. The bottom half of it is on the edge of my desk. And then when I actually see it, it doesn't show. So I just need to be better about framing that for you guys. And I apologize, but we'll just chat. It's okay. So I'm just putting in, some business cards. I just try and keep everything throughout my day, obviously, and stick in what I can. So that is a little box. So I'm just going to try and clear off my desk a little bit and find a space to work. And that's all the yumminess that Holly sent me. I mean, all of it, you guys. It's just like jam-packed. And so, but the little box, I just keep, I try and keep everything I can, right, from around the house. And so that box, if you saw it when I first brought it into frame, it had cans in it. You can see the imprints of it. So I must have bought like, I don't know, a 6-pack of something. I actually do know what it is now that I say that, but it was like fauxbonichi or whatever. They're these new noodles, but that's not the point. The point is I saved the box and then now I'm just trying to clear it off. So make it a little space on my desk to see if I can get some work done. I'm taking like kind of that background paper away. I try and film on that sometimes because I know my desk is like chaos and so distracting with all the colors in the background. So sometimes I try and film a little on that green paper. So here I am working in my journal and I'm just trying to figure out, this journal is the one I made for this month. It's all out of paper that my aunt brought us like out of her office. They are moving and so they cleaned out like their office stuff, and so she gave me, handed down, I don't know, a lot of her old office stuff, and it was so cool. And I'm just digging it because I put the map on the front and I just really enjoy it. So let's see, where are we at? Let me flip so I can kind of look at the page that we're working on. Okay. Oh gosh. So I had already done like that writing, obviously with watercolors. And I had just kind of documented in really quickly, whatever, like our state's on fire and we do not live in California. So we also are having really bad fires here and it's really bad. And that morning in particular, we had long runs in our workout and I could feel it burning in my chest. It was kind of crazy. So just continually praying for those, impacted by the fires and those working on them. And obviously, so sorry for my reach. Obviously I have stuff all over my desk. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to put where. That artwork on the left, that like potato scale, is from the totally talented Brooke over at Recreations by Brooke. And I have gotten her monthly printouts. You can buy stickers also, but I just get the printouts, and then I don't even print them all up, right? So like if I don't need something, like I just print up one sheet of it, or I just print it as I need it, I guess. And then it also allows me to like use something when I want it. So I still have like stars from July that I didn't use all up, obviously. So, and you could do that obviously with stickers too, but I just love the potato scale. I don't know why there's a potato scale this month, but it was perfect because I have been researching the McDougall diet and kind of way of eating. And so it was just perfect. So anyway, that's why that's on that page. You can see it. It's also on the same page as you see in that little triangle up at the top as Ben and Jerry's ice cream. So, you know, it's balance, people. It's balance. And I am in the middle of my 30-day Arbonne healthy living, and we went out. So we were saying goodbye to my son, and I consciously chose, it was not reactive. It was not, anything like that, but I consciously chose to have ice cream that night. And so I did get the vegan, sugar-free, whatever, but it does have the little Ben and Jerry's, corner wrapper. But again, that's something that like, that's like the wrapper off of one of the ice cream cones that they got, right? And so I just cut a little snippet out of there. So on the right, I'm just documenting like this was the night we took my son to dinner to kind of say goodbye and have a family dinner. And I was just kind of reflecting on the fact that if we still lived in California, this like would have been a big family dinner. And since we moved up here, it's just us. And so it's definitely at times like this that I miss our family the most, and just having those big family gatherings. And we don't even have a big family. I mean, that's the crazy part. We have a very small family relative to many of you. And anyway, so I was just kind of documenting that. And so we went to sushi, which is one of our favorites, and just, I don't know, kind of started feeling a little emotional or whatever, but then also like was quickly into kind of the logistical parts of like the moving parts of getting him to campus, and figuring all that out. So just kind of documenting that and also, and just talking because it's Wednesday. This is a Wednesday. We leave Saturday morning and we have not packed. Like the boy has not packed for college at this point. So, which is fine. He gets it done, but I was just cracking up. So, just documenting that. After dinner, the kids both left together and went down and played volleyball. They have been doing that. Like the kids in town have been doing that almost every night. And so it's a really cool thing that's just kind of happened out of this COVID thing, right? So when you look at things, you get to choose how to look at it and whatever. And obviously trying to look at the positives out of things. And so one of the positives out of not having regular sports, not having regular commitments, not being able to do a lot of the things that we normally do is kind of the slower pace of life. And so we live in a very small town, and little by little, a few of the kids were allowed to go play, and then a few more and whatnot. And so now they have a very core group that, kind of hangs out. And so it's been working really well. So, and, they're wearing masks or whatnot, but it's so important, especially at this age, like to have a social connection and kind of have some sense of normalcy. So, and I'm not, here to say do or do not, or, any of that. I'm just saying for us, it's like what has been working, and that's our choice, obviously. So anyway, it was neat to see the kids hang out together. They enjoy each other and their friendship. And I feel very blessed that they like hanging out together, I guess. So, and then the rest of that, I'm just kind of documenting like normal day. I'm, gym and work and staff meeting and blah, blah, blah. And then my husband is working. And then the boy, he's going to online college. It's so crazy. Like, anyway, and my daughter started high school, her junior year, online as well. So we're all just, it's the new normal, which I hate. Like, I hate that saying, and I hope it is not. But anyway, on the right-hand side, this was like a old recipe book or something, or pamphlet, I don't know. And like from Tupperware or Ball, you'll do better with Ball. And so this is again something my aunt like handed down, and so I just love it. But I didn't want to cover it up, so I just made a little note there. I said I was never this mom like who stayed home and looked perfect with the dress and the apron, like packing the perfect lunches. I wanted to be. I mean, I tried, but it just wasn't me. But gosh, I miss those days, and especially now, right? Because I'm emotional about my boy leaving and like all that. Like I wish. Even though I wasn't that mom, we had so many fun memories, and I miss packing the lunches or making the holiday cookies or the school. Gosh, we were just so involved with the elementary school too, right? And so I miss those days so much. As he's leaving, I'm obviously, looking back on all of that and just grateful for it, but sad at the same time. So just part of the process of journaling, which is cool because that's why we journal, right? Is to kind of have a place where we get to reminisce or at least capture our thoughts that were with us that day. So I don't do a lot of like deep journaling in this journal in particular, because I do other journaling in the morning every day. But those thoughts, those thoughts are important. And so those are more like memory based, not really like the heavy duty things. But anyway, so on this page, I'm just kind of documenting. On the left, I had covered up a little bit of that piece of paper with some scrapbook paper at the top, and then added like a list page to add some lines. And so I could just, use it to journal a little bit more easily than the blue that's behind it. And just noting normal morning, clients online. And I just said, kind of ready for this thing to be over. I really miss doing work with people and going to the office and that sort of thing. So, and what else? On the right, I just added a notepad. So that notepad I added sideways, which I know, again, might just not sit right with some of you people. And I'm really sorry, but I just wanted to cover up some of that, and so I'd have a place to write. So I just glued it on sideways, and we took a huge haul to Goodwill, and then I just said I want to donate somewhere else, but it's so close. I got my nails done and watched some football. Thank goodness football's back on. And then I don't know if you can see on that. I'm writing. So a few videos back, I had done, I colored that magic material that Elizabeth had given me, which was a pillowcase, but the colors turned out gorgeous. And so I cut it into strips, and I was trying to make those magic worms that she does. And yeah, it didn't turn out very well. So I need to go back and watch her video on how to do that. But I love the color of how it, and I'm glad I finally used it, because I'm trying to use my stuff. That's the theme of my desk and my journal right now, is use it up. So, all right. So this day is September 11th, and I'm just documenting. On the right, I have behind it is like a boat page, which I just love. Again, that's from, handed down papers or whatnot, or a book. And so I glued 3 sides of a Project Life card onto that to create the pocket in the front. And then I've tucked some little cards in there to make notes. Excuse me. And as much as I love that colored polka dot one, I'm going to, I think, end up not using it. But that's okay. So I'm just, I'm writing in there my list of things that I was supposed to do that day or got done. And I think, I'm not too sure if I finish it with you guys or not, but I write down, everything, and I check it off. And then at the bottom, there's wash the dog. And that didn't happen. Buddy boy is a mess. He needs a bath, or did need a bath very, very badly. And he actually needs a grooming appointment is what he needs. But Buddy has COVID hair. So he had a grooming appointment, gosh, I want to say in the beginning of all this, April or something, and it's been forever. So it's time to get him back in there, but he's living his best COVID hairstyle life for sure. So thank goodness he's not too self-conscious of that. So on the other card, I'm just documenting. I kind of was on track with my food, and I had had that oatmeal sticker that I had already stuck on there. I don't know what it's from. I bought a pack of those kind of like, I don't know what you call them, vinyl stickers or whatever, and it had a couple in there about the oatmeal, and it was like, girl, you're thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. I don't know what that's from. I'm sure it's from a famous movie or something that I'm just not cool enough to know about. But anyway, I put it on there to say I was eating on track. I was doing really well with food, and I'm conscious of the fact that the trip coming up is going to be difficult with food, because again, I was doing the Arbonne 30 Days to Healthy Living, which is basically just eating clean. I mean, basically, so no caffeine, no alcohol, no dairy, no animals, no sugar. Did I already say that? So anyway, I was doing really well, but I know living in hotels and living on the road is not going to be that easy. So just kind of documenting that. On the left, I have painted that background. It was just like a white, I don't know, had some writing. It was from some sort of catalog or something. I have painted kind of stripes going down of the red, white, and blue, just to kind of document that this is Patriot Day in the United States, and I don't do a lot with it. I just put Patriot Day and some stars at the bottom of the page. I end up documenting just a little bit, like everybody has their memories of this day. It was tragic, and I just pray for our nation. Like, again, I don't do a lot of emotional journaling in this journal, okay? Because I have another place to do that. And so this is just kind of more documenting history, if you will, like kind of documenting my day, but it's not like my emotional process journal, okay? And I view those differently. So that's all I did to document that day. The card in the middle is just a piece of scrapbook paper. I think that was a Happy Meal that I got maybe a long time ago from Elizabeth or something. I'm not too sure. But anyway, I just tipped it in so it flips up. You can see. And then I'm documenting about this is the day my husband had his Go Ruck event. So we ruck every week and we're part of a group. But nationally, the group puts on huge events. And so there are basically like a 6-hour, a 12-hour, and a 24, and then there's some more extreme. But those are the 3 regular ones, and they host them all over the nation. And so my husband had signed up for his first event, and for his first event, he chose the 12-hour one, and it's no joke, and it's called Tough for a reason. And anyway, it's 12 hours. It starts at 9 at night. It ends at 9-ish in the morning. They could certainly go longer. And so I was just documenting that, like, this was the day, he'd been training for, he's more than ready, all that. But it was pretty emotional because he had to say goodbye to the boy before he left. And so that was a little difficult. And he was already like nervous energy anyway, right, for the event. And so I was going to drive up with him, like drive behind him and go see him off at 9 o'clock and film it, if you will. And he just decided that we did not need to do that because he wanted us to pack and whatnot. And so it was a little emotional to say goodbye, but he was nervous and everything too. So I'm just documenting about that, but he's more than ready. So up at the top, that little take the day off printout, I've printed those out a long time ago. And I just noted it's my day off from the gym. Usually Friday's my rest day from workouts. I might do something like just run or walk a couple miles or something like that, but it's not a workout day normally. So I just made a little note of that. All right. So the next day is like, oh gosh. So this is the day we leave, right? This is the day. And I've already, I think, posted the video of me kind of creating these, journaling a little bit, adding some stuff into the pages and whatnot. That heavy tag is there because our bag was over. And, the lady at Delta was like a gift, right? It was just, she was so sweet. And I said in my other video, I think, it may have been because the guy in front of us was like not very nice to her because his bag was over also. And I don't even know, like, I think people in general, I think the airport in general often has or is filled with a lot of nervous energy, right, around travel and flying and everything. And I can't imagine what these poor people deal with every day. And so I already just expected, like, I'm going to go up, and if our bag's over, I'm going to handle it. Like, we'll just figure it out, right? And so my daughter's there with me, and we're just like listening to this man in front of us. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So we get up there, and she's just so sweet, and she just blesses us. And she, I said, oh, I'm taking my boy to college for the first time. And, she's like, oh, mama, you're going to get through it. And like, it was just so sweet. And then she reaches over and grabs this tag and puts it on my bag. I shouldn't even say my bag. It's like my bag, but it had all my boy's stuff in it, right? Because we're carrying all this extra stuff for him. So anyway, all I had was my carry-on. My daughter and I each took our carry-on, and then we all took a packed bag for him, right? So anyway, it was just a sweet, sweet blessing from her to do that. So my son went to breakfast with his girlfriend, and then she drove him to the airport. My daughter and I drove together. Oh, excuse me, with a family friend that dropped us off, which was super nice. So we don't have to leave our car at the airport all day. And then I'm just documenting here that we had a layover, but we had a great first flight. And I was a little bummed when we got our seats, because we all were in a different row. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. And turns out we're all in a different row because we all each have our own row, which was so nice. And I was like, oh, this is such a great start to this. So it just kept getting better. And then about, I don't even know, 20 minutes into it, my son moved seats to go sit with my daughter, and they ended up sitting together and like chatting and listening to music and watching videos, and then they fell asleep together. And I was like, my heart is just so happy. And I don't know. I love that they have that relationship. I love it. And I know we're blessed, and I just hope that they carry that through adulthood, right? So it's very sweet. And here I'm just writing a quick note that on our way to the airport, my husband called, and he had finished his event, and he was crying. He was emotional. He was obviously exhausted, right? But it was also so emotional, just because it was a tribute to 9/11, and like the way they did it and what they did was just so, so cool. Oh, can you hear my dog? That's Buddy coughing. Buddy. Sorry. Anyway, so I'm just documenting. It works out. Like, I'm glad. We were going to go up and see him finish. Well, originally, he was going to go with us. So he was supposed to finish at 9, and we had to be at the airport like at 11:30. And so we thought that would just work out well, and it just turns out it wouldn't have. So everything works out. Everything works out. So, but he called and let us know how it went, and he was like deliriously tired. And so I was like, please just get home, and please get home and go to bed and be safe. So anyway, down in, I'm not even too sure it's in frame. You've seen it. I've done that little doodle of that little girl, and that's from like Draw Every Day book. And so maybe I'll go back, and I'm not too sure. So not too sure. Okay. So the next day is Sunday, and I shared this with you before, but whether it was subconscious, it certainly wasn't conscious, but this page, kind of the way it lays out, is like there's a bird and then another bird page and then a bird house. Anyway, this is the day my son moved into his own house. Like, he flew the coop and moved into his own little bird nest. And anyway, I thought it was quite powerful in my little daily journal. So I'm just trying to document. This page that I'm writing on right now with the blue background and that bird on it, that is a book page out of a book I got at the Dollar Tree a long time ago, like a haul that I've showed you guys. But what I was going to say is, we were somewhere recently, and I can't remember where, but we were in this little kind of like gift store-ish little place that sold books, but more of a boutique-y gift store. They had the same book, you guys. It was like $15.99. I was like, oh my gosh, did she buy this at the Dollar Tree and bring it here? So I was just cracking up because every once in a while you just find total gems there that are just worth so much more. So I love that page. I love the artwork in there. And I think it just worked out really well that, I don't know, it's the bird and the bird's nest and like all that kind of stuff. So I'm just documenting this page. This is about moving my boy in, and we got there on time. We had a very late night the night before, and like they didn't have our hotel room, that sort of thing. So ended up going to another hotel. They paid for it, of course. But anyway, we got there, we unloaded his bags, and then we just started making like this giant list of things we needed. And then, so we had to head out to Target and Walmart. I spent like way too much money, but got him all settled, and just, we couldn't bring everything he needed. And we knew that. That was always the plan. Like, so it wasn't like a surprise. That was the plan. And you don't really know the space until you get in it, right? He needed like little hooks for the wall or, whatever. So we just did that. And then I just documented, like, I suck at first day of move-in documentation, because we went and did all these errands and then brought him back to his dorm room, unpacked it, not put it all up, but like unpacked it. And then we were all going to go to dinner. The roommates' parents, we were all meeting for dinner. And so it was like 4:30, and like we had to go back to the hotel and get ready and then come back. I went back and picked up all the boys. And so we left. And I was like, well, we'll get pictures tomorrow. When things are set up, we'll come back and help you get your sheets on. Like, no. The boy, we walk out of the dorm and they're like checking us or whatever, and, reminding us, telling us, not reminding us, but telling us, after 6 o'clock that night, there's no one allowed in the dorms. And I'm like, oh yeah, no problem. We're not coming back till tomorrow. And he's like, no, there's no one allowed in the dorms. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And then again, I'm not going to yell at this poor little boy or whatever. Like, you get to choose how you interact with people or whatever, right? But I was like, I'm sorry, what? So at 6 o'clock that night, that was the last move-in. And so that was like the other thing, they had scattered move-in times, right? So not everybody was there at the exact same time. And so my boy happened to have the last day, like Sunday was the last day of move-ins, but Sunday night at 6, no one else is allowed in the dorms. No visitors from other dorms, no family, no anything because of COVID. And so, like, no pictures. None. I got like one of the dorm room before we put anything in there. And then, because I thought we were going to go back the next morning and like take the picture, send it to the family, get a picture of him and his roommates. Like, none of it. I got none of it. So there you go. There you go. How not to move your kid into college. How about that? So just take the dang pictures. So I am, this night, the next night is Monday. So we ended up having a great day. I just couldn't go in my son's room. And this paper is super, super thin. And you saw on the backside, I wrote on it, and that marker went right through, which is fine. I don't care, but I don't really know. Now it's unusable, so I have to figure out what to do. So I'm just adding some watercolor to the background. And then I end up like not writing over it or adding more to it, but I just wanted to mute it out a little bit. I'm going to document on the back of that card. So I've already added the picture to the front. Just be careful on this, you guys, too. I think I've either showed you or talked about it. If you do those pictures, any pictures, I'm sure, but certainly these, they don't respond well to that heat gun, just so you know. So unless you want to do that for art journaling, like alter the colors or something or see what happens, but they're just a little delicate around that heat gun. So I just put a little school sticker up there. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not a school sticker. That is a printout. That little thing that says school, it says celebrate today. And then it says school. I don't know if you can see that. That is a printout from Pam and at Pocket Journal Pam. And I am one of her Patreons, and I love, love, love her artwork. And so I've just added that little thing in there. And then at the bottom where it says Monday and the pineapple, those are printouts from Lynn at Love Lynn's Life. and I am one of her Patreons as well. So that's a Project Life card. It just has #friends on it. I'm just making sure it said that. Yes, it actually says that. I didn't stamp it on. I couldn't remember. And then I took a picture of my son and my daughter and their friend, our friend, a dear friend that they've grown up with in California and raced together since they were 5. And now they are sailing together in college, which is super cool. So let's see, I haven't added in, I'm looking at, oh yes, I did. So you can see I just tipped in kind of the pamphlet from the school there. And then I taped in this really cool bag from this amazing place we went called Playa Bowls at the college. And so my son had his first classes. And so while he was in school, well, this day they were still online, but obviously back there. And then now they've transitioned into classrooms. So anyway, he had to go to campus. We met him in the morning. We took care of business like financial office, you know, some of that other business stuff. And then he had to go back to class. And so we met up with his friend again and we went to the park. And then I don't know if you can see, oh, I haven't added it yet. I'm just playing. Oh, because I don't think, because I'm filming is why. I'm trying to think, what am I doing? Okay, so I'm going to add a picture in here, and I don't think you're going to see it. You'll see it on my flip through. It's really funny. So anyway, I just, I'm going to end up kind of adding some watercolor to this page. And I'm trying to figure out where to add my pictures. And I should have printed them out like all ahead of time. And I'm enjoying like adding more pictures to my journal. I am. And I'm feeling, I think, less guilty about not scrapbooking as much, although I'm not 100% sure about that. But anyway, I'm just trying. So you can see there I make a little template of like the photo size just to see like if I want, like where I want to put photos and whatnot. So anyway, I'm going to kind of go back. So on this page, so the whole bag is like in the middle of this page. So this is all Monday the 14th. So on this day, we end up going to dinner with my son and taking him out to this really nice restaurant that his friend joined us for. We took her out as well. And I just kind of put that thing at the top. It says, do your thing. And then that favorite quote, you cannot discover new oceans unless you are willing to lose sight of the shore. I just think that's so symbolic and like representative of like leaving, going to college, doing the thing, doing your next thing, and you know, all of that. So I just put that in a little top of a pamphlet, you know, with the college stuff on it, a picture of my boy and I, and then this water bottle sticker that I had over there. And I just put a new little logo on it. I bought him a new water bottle today at the bookstore, and water bottles is like his thing. I don't know. And we're from the Pacific Northwest now, but he has a favorite one, like a favorite one that he has like lost and had to find, like lost in the ocean and had to find, and during a regatta. And so anyway, I was just cracking up. So I put a new water bottle on there that's red, and it was from the school. And anyway, I'm just trying to add a little color here. I just use that's like I don't even know, Frixon or something. I'm just smudging it a little bit just to add a little bit of outline to that title. But on the bottom, I don't know if you can see it, kind of that right-hand bottom, I do have some numbers on some of these pages. I guess I haven't really talked about that. Those are like from a Mantra Wellness or something like that. And I just put those numbers. That's not the day of the month. That's the day of the Arbonne Challenge that I was doing. So that was like day 29. And I didn't put them on every page, but if they were applicable or if they, you know, if they spoke to me or whatever. So they were just healthy tips. They weren't anything to do with Arbonne necessarily, but they just happened to be kind of correlating. So anyway, that's as much as I'm doing today. I just wanted to take you guys along for the ride. So thanks for hanging out with me. It's just a long process. I'm obviously not caught up, but I just wanted to take you along for a little bit of the experience. So I will see you in the next video. I hope you find something today that inspires you. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.